All right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, share and I will rest therein. I just came today with a little something kind of going to speak just a little bit on what we were speaking about or what we were talking about yesterday. I wasn't able to really get in, really drill into revelation regarding the seven churches. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. But I will say that I did some studying, and I had also got caught up today in also listening to a lot of teaching, that's put out there, and it was on other things, but it also this one particular elderly man. He's in the United States, but he always talking about Africa, and it's just a lot of things that he says. You know, not only am I feel someone that can speak. I am a really good hearer. I can kind of hear behind hearing. And this particular man, he was saying something was that a couple of days ago, and I thought was very interesting. And then I also kind of was just listening to probably about 40 minutes of his several of his messages, and I never listened to the whole message. But I was listening to a little bit of his messages, and I was like, how could he be on this side and I'm here? We sing, I'm here on one side, I'm on another side, but yet some things we are saying, it's almost like uh, we are saying something. He's saying something that's important, and I know that I'm saying something that's important. But when you really kind of try to level it off, you really can't, because there's so many in the body of Hamashiach. One can't say, he said, one can't say when this one, the what you say, right hand is not right, or the right hand is not needed. One part of the body of Hamashiach works together. One can't deny the other. Say, for instance, if I'm the hand, I can't say something to someone in the shoulder that you're not needed, or you don't belong. And as I was listening to this man, he talks all this about Pan Africa and Africa this. And I'm gonna tell you, it's everything that I come to understand in its fullness. I can only say that this is what the Father has given me. What I do not have, I can't say that it is what Yah has given me. Only what He gives me, I call it what He gives me, and I speak on that. And with this guy, he was pretty much saying a lot about uh, one thing he said, that I am 100. One thing he said, that I am 100% in agreement. He said the biblical book, the 1611, nor the King James, people do not understand that it is not the word. Well, honestly, I always believe that. I believe that this is a book where we study, and it has instructions and directions. But because I believe that the word rests in the bosom of a creator who have all this power, who have all this compassion and this mercy, this grace, who has everything, who has created everything, I put so much belief in him. And for that reason, I know that a paperback book is not him. That's why we need him dwelling in us, so he can tell us what's in the book that lines up with what he is. Remember, he says, heaven and earth shall pass. It said, Heaven and earth shall pass away. Okay. But the word will never, it will always be with Yah, because Yah is the word. And just like in John chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, in the beginning was the word. The word was with Yah. The word is Yah, verse 2. And the word was with him in the beginning. So we have to somewhere, even in that, it's not telling us this is the word. It's letting us know that he is the word. And if we don't accept him and he don't come into, say for instance, we said we accept him, we believe him. But if he don't come and abide with us and teach us, or in us and teach us, then we just out there teaching ourselves and believing what we are being taught and what we have been taught. So it leads me to understand that here this man, he's talking one thing, and a lot of stuff he's saying, I don't agree. But a lot of stuff he's saying, I do agree. Okay. But with Sister Deborah, I'm like this here. I hear behind hearing. I know that he nor I have it all. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't need even the Ruach, the Ruach HaKodesh, if we have it all and we got it all, So therefore, when I'm hearing him, I'm like saying, yeah, that's true. And if I follow him and I can see the errors in which he's talking about, but I don't look at his ideal of seeing this book as an error. I think in him, he's trying to say that, wait a minute, y'all, this book is not the full thing. And I agree with that. I agree with it. Sister Deborah is not called, though, to tell people that it's this book is no good, don't use it, this is all wrong. No, I was never, Y'all never given me that. But a lot of people who have been teaching for a long time, and some who haven't been teaching that long, have are out to say that this book is something no one should read, and you should not listen to it, you should not abide by it. But as I listened to him, when he said it is not the word of God, he said God, but I say, y'all, I believe that. I believe that with no doubt. These are stories of individuals, okay, that is speaking. When you hear it when you see it in red, it's still what someone has said it is in red. But how would Sister Deborah feel she could kind of overstep what he's saying? Is because he might not have the Holy Spirit, which is the Ruach. Now, you can tell me that everything in this book is wrong. I won't agree with you, because the Ruach comes and shows and begs the difference. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference to me in the Holy Spirit. And I am so grateful to know that the Holy Spirit is the most powerful teacher that's on the heavens and on the earth. He's the teacher. That's why he said, I will teach you all things. And he told the truth. Put your trust in no man. The reason why I said that, y'all, is with me, when he was speaking, I began to think about what I was taught. Okay. See, even in here, you could hear it says, your thoughts are not my thoughts. Then your ways are not my ways. Then what is all this in this book? You get what I'm saying? You see, what is this here from Genesis to Revelation? If your thoughts are not our thoughts and your ways are not our ways, what is this we're reading? If it's not your thoughts, if it's not your ways, that's why we need the Ruach to come and teach us and reveal things to us. What is what? So I understand a lot of what he's saying, and I am in disagreement with a lot of things he's saying, but yet no, I listened to what he's saying, and I was like him, and I listened to a lot of other people just talking, and I really count myself blessed, because when I'm listening to them, and I'm like, wait a minute, where did they get this? Because that, when I look back over my life, I realized, is that why you've been teaching me since I was 4? Is that why you came to me at a very young age? Said, so I would never, ever, 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 ever be deceived? Is that why? Because if that, most likely it is, because it makes a lot of sense. It's to keep me from being deceived by what would you call it? The world, how the world has allowed Satan to deceive the whole world. But Yah cannot be deceived. And you know what else this man said that was very powerful? But he said it. I'm just in the last year, I'm just embracing it. But he said it, I think 9 months ago. I just saw it. This is today. He said it, but I'm like, okay, within the last year, I'm just now embracing it. But he said it. I was looking at when he spoke this. It was 9 months ago, and I'm like, wait a minute. I just come to the knowledge of it and within the last year, and that was this. He lists the only one that could really people could really listen to and hear. You know, he listed, and I'm like, all I remember, he said, when he said the servants of God, the prophets, that's one way you know that Yah come to people. Now that I already knew that too, but it was just that I did not know that they were, and he not only did he call them a prophet, he called them the servants. That's one that you can listen to. And he said, who else did he say? He didn't even say the apostles. He said it was the prophets, and I think he said Jesus Christ. I think that's what he said. I guess that's what he was saying. 3 of them. But when he named the prophets, the servants or the servants of God. He said he believed God come through them. You know what I'm saying? And he say not to them just today, but he has in time past. What he's saying is believing stuff and proving it to be true is a total different thing. You can believe it, but can you prove it? I don't like him saying that, because what it means is it gives no one any space to believe. You see what I'm saying? Or hope. Because when you say these pastors and all of them, they teach and they preach, but nothing they teach, preach, nothing in this book can they prove. You know, so he's saying, and I'm like saying, bro, what can you prove? You over here talking about everything started in Africa. What can you prove? He seems to feel that things are on the wall. A lot of information is written on walls and stones. And he said that's where the proof is at. But it was just a lot of things he was saying. And I do agree with him on some things. So I got caught up because I was in the Revelation in the 7 churches. And I listened to information regarding it. And I got up early this morning to read into it before I left out. And I think I spent like a couple of hours, maybe a little longer, just reading over Revelation, what we were talking about in the live chat yesterday. And I was trying to get a lot, it's not a lot, as much as I can to bring into some understanding. And it looks as if it's something that really has to be left up to Yah to reveal what he wants me to really graft in that. There is a lot of things that is actually being said, and that's why I'm in one agreement with this man when I heard him say that the ones that we can say, but where can you prove it? When he said, how can you prove it? Why is it can only be proven what he says, but what no one else reads? That's strange. I don't know why he said it, because then I can flip that back on him. But the thing about it, when he said the servants of God, which are the prophets, he said he can embrace them coming with the information, because, you know, for God to speak unto them. And he said three different situations that that he know he can come through without the book. Where I'm at in that is, I know for a fact. Oh, he said spirit. He was saying he sent his informations to his servants through his spirit. He sent them to them. That I agree with, because that's how in this midnight hour, that's the only way I could teach. That's the only way I could speak, is through the spirit. I can't tell people when, okay, this book is wrong. This book is here is wrong, here is wrong, here is wrong. This ain't right. This ain't. No, I can't do that. That's why I said that I'm not a teacher, but yet I can teach. So what I'm saying is, I believe, and he's saying it somewhat is pretty much what he's saying, that this thing is spirit, and it is true. And that's why he's saying that when you're reading it, you're reading the stories and what someone else is saying, but the things you can capture if the things being said are spiritual. Like when he dealt with the prophets, they are his true servants. He speaks to them through spirit. And that I definitely agree with, because I can be reading, and I can be just sitting back reading and trying to, just very quiet and humble, and just be reading. And he'll begin to tell me, this is this, Deborah, this is this, just showing me things while I'm reading. And I know that he is a spirit. And then he began to let me know that, everything that he's speaking to you is in spirit. And that's why he said that you worship him in spirit and in truth. The truth don't have to be in the book. That's not the truth. The truth, the spirit is not in a paperback book. This is another part that I agree with this guy that made a lot of sense. He said the same thing that I feel I experienced since I was 4, and that is communicating with the Father in a spiritual realm and not so much as in a natural. So this could be another reason. Now listen to this. This could be another reason when he has that hedge around me, even though I can't see this hedge around me, and even though I was feeling sad, why is it people be saying things and I be like, when did that happen? When did they do that? They ain't done that to me. Ain't nobody, I'm like that, because see, that hedge is spiritual too. That means that hedge that the Father has around Job. Job didn't know that hedge was around him, but Satan knew it. Why? Because Satan knew he better not come up on it. He knew he better not mess with it. He better not come nowhere near it. See, Satan knew that. That's why he told the Father. He said, I know you ain't got Job and his children protected for nothing. I know he called it out. He knew the Father had something around Job. And even when the Father said he would take it from around Job and he can try Job, Satan said, no, I ain't. You had a hedge around him. So that hedge is a seal that the Most High has on us that we can't even see. I was 58 when he spoke those words to me, saying, because you had a hedge around you. And I'm like, people will come to me and say, well, Miss Deborah, why they don't do you like that? They don't never talk to you like that. They treat you nice. I mean, everywhere I have ever gone to work, you all, and I've been to at least about 100 jobs in my life. And I kid you not. And there was a job that was a drop in the bucket. I got good benefits. I got good dental, and I got a good pay. Yes. So I'm going to tell you, I'm a living testimony that whatever it is that Yah has invested in me, it is spiritual, because I was too ignorant in the flesh to think it was anything else outside of what he had put around me. So that was that hedge that he had around me. So with that being said, that's also kind of showing me a little bit about what this man is saying, as far as those are the one Yah send message to. Those are the one he really communicate with, which is one that's deep. Because I said That is exactly, I mean, he said it a total different way than I would have, but it matched on one accord with the way Yah has been dealing with me since I was 4, and how he deals with me even to today, and how he has been my teacher and shown me things and revealed things to me. So I was in agreement with this man. Yes, this man, he talks all this about Pan-Africa and over in Africa, the true what you this and true this and that. I can say to him what he's saying to everybody else over in the United States. He's lived here in the United States, but what shocked me, I'm in Missouri. He was in Missouri too, but he got ran out. The pastors here in Missouri ran him out, and he talks about it. And I was like, you used to be here? And he's an elderly man, but all I'm saying is he was saying some things, and I was like, how could he have known that? I mean, I found out that in the year 58. And the thing says he's teaching. A lot of the stuff is kind of powerful, but it's kind of sad because of the hour we in such a late hour. And another thing, I sat back today and I just read. Even when I came back home around about 4:30, I sat down and I started reading. And I learned something in Revelation chapter 1 in the beginning. But also what I was waiting for, and honestly really waiting for, was the Father to tell me what really is the spirit and truth of the whole matter. You know, he hasn't given me that yet, but I can feel the start of it, because I believe that it's going to, I'm going to be honest, I think it's something in there that's going to kind of reveal something that the whole world is still lost in. I really do. Because I think he's waiting to give it to me in a way that I will be able to embrace it and let it go at the same time. Because it's not something that's going to be able to redeem anyone. It's not something that's going to be able to save anyone. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to say, we was on this topic yesterday, a revelation regarding the 7 churches. So he's still dealing with me on that. And I appreciate the Father giving me the little that he has given me. And I'm going into Revelation chapter 1. In Revelation chapter 1, I don't know if your Bible says what my Bible says, okay? And that's another thing, this man for Pan-Africa, he broke down probably 8 chapters with verses in it and showing how different things are being said in the King James Bible and in the 1611, how they one tell you this and the one tell you that. He was breaking that thing down, showing you the difference. And that kind of support what we are about to talk about in Revelation. And like I said yesterday, there was a reason why a lot of churches yesterday and today, and the reason why they're going to today is because they want to try to give people the end days in the end times. That's what they're trying to do. And the only way they want to dip into it is to dip into the areas of where things are happening now and said, okay, here it is in Revelation, or Babylon coming down, Revelation 18, things that fits what they want to talk about or what's going on in the world. You see, that's what they're doing in the churches and all over, even on all the media and everybody. Well, something happened, they want to run to Revelation to pull. Here it is, y'all. There it is right there. And what Sister Deborah tell y'all? I told you I'm just waiting for the 2 witnesses. If I still be living, I want to see the 2 witnesses. That's why, I don't know, because I know that they are prophets. But I just said, I'm thinking I'm going to be living to see them, but I don't think I will be, to be honest, because they're not going to come into this country. They're going to be somewhere over closer to Jerusalem, over in that area when they do come. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about yesterday, Revelation, and I'm going to give just what he given me so far. He hasn't given me the fullness, but like I said, yesterday, I think I came up with saying I'm going to do my study on Revelation, the 7 churches, because I haven't gotten the fullness, and the 1,000 years. That was another one. I haven't gotten into that one, but last night I was just eating in Revelation chapter 1, 2, and 3 regarding the 7 churches, and I began to I didn't get as much as, but what made me turn it away last night was the way the world, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and do your own search. Go today and look in it. The way the world has made all these books, okay, to come into one accord with the Revelation chapter 1 and 2 and 3, as far as the churches. The way that they're doing that is also bringing people to making them, those who are changed, have called themselves defining and bringing clarity to the 7 churches in Revelation. They seem like they're on one accord, but the only part Sister Deborah have an issue with, every time I see that Roman Catholic pop up, I hate that. When I see the Romans pop up, I hate that. And that's all over the place. When you go do your study, you're going to see it pop up. You come out of nowhere. You'll be like, wait a minute, where are they coming from? Oh, that's what's in all the if you're using the Google, or you're using any part of study, and you're pulling it up regarding the 7 churches, it will throw you off, because it also, I was reading it, I was like, well, wait a minute. There are several of these churches were before Christ, but they were detached to the Roman. I'm like, where it was confusing me, and still yet confuse me, because there's 2 things that's very powerful for Sister Deborah, and that is to be taught what took place before the foundation of the world. That's where I can run and hide. See, it's nothing that can come up on Sister Deborah where she can't run and hide in the bosom of Yah, because by him teaching me what took place before the foundation of the world, that means that many things have to stand down, because what I showed you before anything was, I gave it to you. I showed you. I told you what it was before it is. You see what I'm saying? I told you what it was before it's going to be. You know, that's the teaching of the Ruach HaKodesh, the real spirit of God. Okay, so Sister Deborah always would have a hiding place, because I can run to his bosom and lay my head there, and anything that I need to know, he's going to allow me to hear it through his spiritual heartbeat. Okay, because he's in me, but I rest in his bosom. You see what I'm saying? So for whatever, so I got a resting place. I got a hiding place or escape place that I can go anytime I get in any situation. But going back to what I was saying, it's spirit and it is truth. It is a spiritual place. Yah said we don't worship him in the flesh. We worship him only, and we deal with him in the spirit. He never made things to where we only can embrace everything in the natural. And in the natural, and somewhat what this man is saying, this book is in the natural, or in the physical where you can see it. But this man is saying, but he believes that their things are spiritual. And I can agree with him, even though a lot of things he's saying, because he just put it out as if everything is wrong. Everything is wrong because it can't be proven. Everything is not wrong if it can be proven through what? Spirit and truth. That's what caused people to say, let me step down a little bit. That's what caused Satan to see the hedge that was around Job wasn't natural. There wasn't a fist around Job. He knew it was spiritual. And before even though Yah was saying to him, here, have you tried Job? My servant? Satan was like, you ain't gonna get me in no trouble. He said, no, go on. He's this, he's that. He said, no. I knew you had that hedge around him. See, even after he took that hedge from around him and told him he can have him in trial, he still wasn't. Satan wasn't stupid. He said, what was he saying, Deborah? He is a spirit. He knew there was what he was seeing was spiritual. You see? So a lot of us don't understand that hedge that was around Job was not natural, you guys. And Satan even told, Satan said to Yah, he told him, he said, well, wait a minute. You ain't got that hedge around Job and his family for nothing. He sat there and told Yah, I seen that fence, that hedge around not only Job, but even his family. So Satan knew that it was a spiritual hedge around Job. So when the father was saying that, okay, when you can come and you can have Job, try him. Satan was like, you think I'm gonna mess with Job? I ain't gonna do it. Satan said, the father was telling him, go ahead. He's yours. He said, touch him. Furthermore, wait a minute. No. Touch him with that right hand. Touch him with that right hand, and then I get him. Why? Because even Yah's right hand is spiritual. So no matter what we study and we learn and we go, unless you're able to go into the spiritual realm, pour that bad boy out and allow the spirit to identify what is physical and naturally seen, you still lost. You're lost without a cause. You see, because it's so that, and that could be why so many are wondering in the midnight hour, because this thing is spiritual and everybody's portraying it to be natural and it's spiritual. Let's go there in Revelation. And I'm saying it like that because that's how I'm getting it. I'm feeling it. He's going to do. That's how he's going to give it to me, because he's going to show me a different realm, because the little that I have, to me, is already spiritual. So let's go there. Revelation, Revelation chapter 1. Okay. Now in Revelation chapter 1, it says at the top, the title, the revelation of Saint John the Divine. Now, do your Bible say that? Give me a thumbs up if your Bible says the revelation of John the Divine. Do your Bible says that? If so, I'm going to hold out until I get the thumbs up on that to see if all I need is maybe 2 thumbs up to let me know if your Bible says exactly that at the heading. The revelation of John the Divine. Okay? Let me know. And I'm going to tell you all something that I think that's really sad. When I do ask, I be waiting for someone to respond. A lot of times I never get any response, but people would want you to go Zoom and they be live. What's the sense of going live and you can't get people to respond? You see what I'm saying? When it's not Zoom, when it's not, what are people going to respond then? When Sister Deborah asks a question or little thing. I have never been on anyone live and they ask, give me a thumbs up with something as basic as the revelation of the saints, of the Saint John the Divine. Give me a thumbs up if that's what you're. Let me see what you say. Oh, no! Don't you be on that? Don't you be driving? Don't you be driving? Oh, you use the Bible app? Okay, baby, I see now. Because I'm like, okay, so let me go on then. So everybody is in a different location. So I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like waiting because I might have to change and try to find another book, another Bible. But good, there go one. See, okay, what? He said, okay, good. Thank you. All right. Now listen to this. Now let's go to verse 1. Verse 1 in Revelation, listen to what it says. the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see that? Is that the same as the title? It says in the title, the revelation of the Saint John, the divine. Revelation verse 1 says the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach. So is it the revelation of John, or is it Saint John, or is it the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach? Whose revelation is this? What I come to understand is, let me see, it's Yeshua. It's just right, exactly. Because you know why I realized? I said, wait a minute. So this is not John. Remember, every time Yeshua HaMashiach spoke, he spoke, it's always in red, right? Wait a minute. No, saying something. It said was something different. You see that? Either it's the revelation of John, the divine, Saint John, the divine, or it's the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach. I'm going for Yeshua HaMashiach. I'm going for Yeshua HaMashiach. Why? Because there that red is. Y'all see that? There go that red. Now watch this here. And it says, this is where you're going to know it's Yeshua HaMashiach. In verse 1, the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach, which Yah, listen here, which Yah gave unto him to show unto his servants. Woo-wee! You get what I'm saying? Yah gave to who? Yeshua HaMashiach to what? To show to his what? Servants. Is it an S on the end? Yes. How did it become the revelation of Saint John the divine? If it's saying in verse 1, the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach, which his father, which Yah gave unto him. Gave it to who? Yeshua HaMashiach. For what? To show unto his servant things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto John. Total different. Totally different. And then they make this here revelation of. See, that's what's bad about it. They make it of Saint. They need Saint John the divine. That's different, y'all. Totally different. Because revelation, you all thought, let me ask you, did you think revelation was the words of John? I did for many years. I thought he was in the vision, which he was, and this was his words that he wrote what was said to him. But it can't be, because it can't be in red. Only one in red is Yeshua HaMashiach. And Yeshua HaMashiach got it from what it says. The Father, Yah, gave it to him. To what? To show unto his servants. Yeshua HaMashiach's servants. You see? That's who this here revelation. And when you see all this red, that's why it switches when you get into chapter 4. You see, it switches out of the red zone. Okay, let me see what his angel, right, to give to John, exactly, to give to the church, exactly. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Okay, now the church, wait a minute. how would Yah give? No. That's wait. How would Yah give it to Yeshua HaMashiach to give to his servant? Okay, Yeshua HaMashiach to give to his servants, meaning his disciples. You see, his epistles, his disciples that he had. He only had 12. So listen to it again. Verse 1, revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach. So we know that in Revelation 1 and 2 and 3, it's telling you that it is the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach, which Yah gave unto him to show. He gave, who is you telling to show? Yah gave it to Yeshua to show his servants. Now, if Yah gave it to Yeshua to show his servants, John is only one. You see what I'm saying? So somewhere along the line, these servants, things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So it bypassed. No, wait a minute. Hold up now. Wait a minute. So y'all listen to that. Can you let me see if anybody is anybody getting it? Yah, and he was the mouthpiece. Yep, Yah was the mouthpiece. They made it about John. Exactly. And that's why I got confused, and I just said, okay, let me get on out of here, because I got to go back in, but I'm gonna make it my business to wait on the Ruach so he can show me that, because I'm like, wait a minute, and that's what's happened throughout this whole book. That's why y'all don't get the glory, y'all. That's why y'all don't get the praise. That's why y'all don't get the honor. It's because it has been put in the power and the authority of man. You see, and it's confusing to me, you know. So I'm like, okay, Father, you have to give me this a little bit, you know, so I can get this right. He was the mouth. He was the one who was giving it to take it right after he was in. I mean, that's just. Oh, you have a 1611. See, yours is not in red. That's what this man was talking about. And it's confusing, Sister Deborah, because I'm like saying, we need this Ruach HaKodesh. I don't care what nobody said. We need the Spirit of God. We need his Holy Spirit. We need his Ruach HaKodesh, because we will be lost. Yours is not red. You see what I'm saying? John, his servant, and John was to give to, but no, it says John is one. John is not servant, but servant. It's saying servants as more. Okay, so John is his servant, but it's not saying that. We are included in the service. Now watch this here, though. Watch this here. What is saying that Yah gave it to Yeshua. Okay, Yeshua. Wait a minute. Shown unto his servant, shown unto his servants with an S, things which shall shortly come to pass. And he sent to signify it by his angel. So it came from Yah to Yeshua to the angel, and then to the servant of John. Notice. You got to look where it says, by his angel unto the servant. You notice you don't see the S on it no more. You don't see the S anymore. John. So John was the last to receive what Yah had given to Yeshua, and Yeshua had given to his servant, and to his servant, and It's not saying servants and then shortly come to pass. He sent and signified it by his angel. You see what I'm saying? So it bypassed, it came out of Yah to Yeshua HaMashiach, to the servants, and then to the angels, and then to the angel, and then to John. So the angel was, I think, was the one that brought the vision before John. That's the only way I can see it. But when you go up to the beginning of the topic, it says what? The revelation of Saint John the Divine. When you do the study in it, the first, I think, 3 churches. Why is it? But they don't know. That's the Roman Catholics. I know they put that in there because it tells you it's before BC. They were before BC, so they came on the scene before Christ. You see what I'm saying? The church, they were before Christ. Okay, see, this is where you can start piecing it together and make you question, because if it was before, these churches existed before Christ, okay, then when Christ came on the scene, okay, his disciples, and he taught it to his servants, which was his disciples, okay, and they gave it to gave the gospel to the others. But I like how it kind of covers something here in verse 1, and it's a different. I mean, it just shows that it takes a lot before. I wouldn't put it and hang it on as a picture on a wall as far as the 7 churches, because I believe what you were saying as far as we all fall into those 7 churches. I believe those 7 churches, we all fall into those from the line of Shem. Okay. Josaphat is Europe. Okay. And Ham is Africa, Indian, and other countries. But I believe that those 7 church is powerful than it's labeled. I think those labels of those churches is not true. I'm sorry. It's not, because as I did the study, I can't see y'all taking the worldly, physical, and causing the spiritual to bow down to the physical. I can't see that, because the 7 churches, I believe that the 7 churches is strictly spiritual. Period. I think the 7 church represents everything 7. The 7 horns, the 7 thunders, the 7 candlesticks, the 7 everything. Those are all spiritual. So I believe that the church does not represent, the 7 churches represent those who are, how would I say it, falls under a spiritual, something spiritual, but yet I got to take away the name of the 7 churches. I got to take them things away, because what I did last night, I looked up each one. And when I did, took me so long to take care of the first 3. I said, wait a minute, Father. These churches was before Christ. And I'm like, this location was before Christ. And before then, they were under the Romans, okay? So when I believe that when Yeshua HaMashiach came in, that was the new sheriff in town. That was strictly spiritual. And I think when he called Paul to go into those churches to offer Yeshua HaMashiach, and when they offer Yeshua HaMashiach, when you bring in that gospel into those that were, and I'm gonna connect it, that were before Yeshua HaMashiach, Yah did. He had to have had a disciple, or not disciple, a disciple, which is Paul, apostle. He had to have made someone, now watch this, to be able to go into those Gentile location, because all of those locations were Gentiles. They were all Gentiles, all of them. And most of them fell under the Roman. But when the Messiah came on the scene, then they began to believe. When Paul traveled, they began to believe, and some of them believed the gospel, and they believed it. So in their process of believing it, I still can't see y'all putting those church above even the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. Or, no, let me put them as a spiritual tribe of Judah and the house of Israel. The one that fall under Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the spiritual. I can't see them having to bow down to the Gentile churches that were grafted in through these here cities that became, that received through Paul. That's what these cities were. These 7 churches that they got labeled. Those were people who, they were also grafted in. We're all in it together, but I cannot eliminate them and say that they are not a part of the 7 churches, even though they are the Gentiles, and they were under the Roman. And back in them days, when you go and do the study and you see what those 7 churches represent, it'll blow your mind. I definitely the first 3. I didn't really do the fullness on the other one. It'll blow your mind. I was like, now, how is these Gentiles cities that's called this, how are they going to come into Revelation and be spiritual? Wait a minute. How can them receiving the Yeshua HaMashiach override the Hebrew nation and be looked at, unless, watch this here, unless the Hebrew Israelite and the tribe of Judah is totally separate in the spirit realm from them? Then if that was the case, then they could come in. But why were they originated from is in Revelation chapter 1, 2, and 3. That's deep. That's deep, because the 7 churches represent spiritual, those that's in the spirit, okay? But when you see the name of these 7 churches, it is more so of, and you see where they started under Roman, and also what, and they, that's why I explained to you all, and I know you probably didn't pay any attention to what I was saying. When I was saying the other day, I was just listening to different kind of programs, and they was talking about all those Christians, they call them, that lost their lives because they believe in the Messiah. That could be them. But I can't see him bringing them to Revelation and just speaking directly to them. I can see it if he already has the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel set aside. But that would be left. That would be the only one left, would be them. That's the only one that it could be talking about. But I cannot believe, what I'm saying is the who and what and why someone took on laboring it, these 7 names. That's where the problem is at. That's where the problem is at. Because to do your study and find out whether even the first one, Ephesus. When you look that up and you do your study, you're gonna say, well, what that was before Christ. You see? So we know that tells you that y'all, a lot of people denying Paul, y'all son Paul in with the gospel to them, because how else did they get it? They were before him. Somebody had to go in there with the gospel. And when they went in, they gave them the gospel and they was all for it, but they fell away and they did this and they did that. And he's telling them in the end days, you know, you got to get it right. But I think I would say the name is what's not supposed to be in there. I don't think those names should be them. I think just like it says, the 7 trumpets, the 7 candlesticks, get me now. Everything he said, the 7 horns, the 7 thunders, the 7 candlesticks, You know, all that stuff in Revelation. But in the beginning, it's only said, it's calling out 7 churches. I believe it should have been just said, watch this here. It should have been just said the 7 churches. When they begin to put those other names, then that to me, those names in that, to me, that's like pulling something in that should not be there. That's as far as I got. I don't know if it's anywhere. I might be going in a circle. What did I say? A dog chasing his tail, going in a circle in dark, in darkness, chasing the tail. But guess what? Sister Deborah can't chase that tail but one round, because that Ruach gonna come up and he gonna show out. Because that right there is what made me pull off. And I say, I got to put this to the side. I got to come back to it, because that's what threw me off. Remember yesterday, I kept asking, why is that name? It says the name, those names I was like, well, why would they get a Gentile or people who was under the Roman? But it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Those names can be pulled away, but those people, those people. See what this is what I'm saying, y'all. Remember when the heavens is going to be, it is said the name of the tribes. You see what I'm saying? The house of Israel, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're going to be there. You know, those are all of those that's coming. But when you speak of other nations, which it talks about the other nations, you see what I'm saying? I believe that the other nations is not calling on these categories, these 7, naming the 7 churches. He didn't name the 7 trumpets. He didn't name the 7 thunders. He didn't name, nothing was named, was broke down in the 7, in all the 7. In all, everything it was 7 is, 7 is, 7 is. And I think here it would have been just better to just say the 7 churches. Then all of us could be in that. I don't know if that makes sense or not. All of us could be connected in that. But when it titled it, it's talking about a location first in the physical. Paul went over to minister to them because they were Gentiles. Paul went over with the gospel. So when he took the gospel over, there first it was physical, then it became spiritual. But here is stepping in the end of Revelation. Again, physical, letting you know the physical location that surrounds these names. Can't be. In the vocabulary of Yah, in the vocabulary of Yeshua HaMashiach, in the vocabulary of the servants of Yeshua, you will never get the word Asian. No Asian, and you won't get none of these names, because these names represent a physical location. But you have to understand, these were a physical location before Yeshua HaMashiach. So say they physical. Yeshua HaMashiach, they received Yeshua HaMashiach. Now the spirit is in the middle. Now when you get to the end, now you're going into Revelation where y'all finna show up and show out. Here it go, back again, physical. Well, why you say that, Deborah? Because all of these names is a physical location. Why would y'all make those things which are spiritual and label them physical? No. It don't make sense. But what makes sense is if the gospel were preached to them and they were grafted in from that end, okay? That's good and dandy. Okay? But let the buck stop there. Then when Yeshua, it says here in Revelation, when John is speaking, he's speaking, what he's given to the 7 churches. It don't matter if you know who the 7 churches is. It don't matter if Deborah know the 7 churches. They are spiritual. You get what I'm saying? They don't need to be category. Physical names. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. They can't be physical names if they are spiritual. Okay? Because Yah said We worship him even in spiritual. That means I can't go and say, Yah, he's the Empire State Building. Or because I know I prayed and he deals with the Empire State Building. We cannot connect anything to the physical that is spirit. He don't deal like that. So I'm just saying, going back to what you were saying yesterday, this is where you said we were in as the church. We are the church. We can be the church. We can be the church. Okay. The angel of the church came to the church. Okay. We can be considered in the church, the 7 churches. But when you put a physical name with them churches, that ain't nothing but the Roman Catholic, baby. That ain't nothing but that, because it even confused the prophet who didn't even do her study on Revelation. And what I'm learning, and I'm learning this as I get old as I am, is that when that Ruach teach you, you got to allow it to say things that you don't know. You see what I'm saying? You got to let it change your mind thinking and the way you feel about it. And that's what I think that even with this here, I want him to not just give me my study. You know how I said study to show thyself? That's what Sister Deborah did last night. I studied to show myself. But that ain't good enough. I still have to hear from the Ruach to give me spirit and truth of the matter of what I study. That's just me. That's just how I am. Because I'm stupid if I'm just going off of myself and what I feel or what I believe. But that's why I said that when I did the reading yesterday, I just went in last night and started to read. And I'm like, wait a minute now, what's this doing? Just reading a lot of things. And then more, I'm talking about it even now, it makes a lot of sense. Because it's not these names is not fitting for Revelation chapter 1, chapter 2. Let me show you another one. I want to just show you. He went up in chapter 2 and he talked about, and I know who are the true Jews in a sense, and you are not the true Jews. You are the synagogue of Satan. Only one can say that is he that is spiritual. You see what I'm saying? He's not saying that to a once physical location. He's saying to somebody who's spiritual, aware of what is being said. And that could be them that are spiritual, that can read this and know that he's talking to them. And it's not in their natural, it's in their spirit. So he's telling Satan's group, I know that you are not the true Jews. You are the synagogue of Satan. You are belonging to Satan. You see what I'm saying? While he's talking to the church would be those that are in the body of Hamashiach. You see? Meaning remember it was the body of the Hamashiach, which the world called Christ, is the head. Remember, he had a body. That's who the church is. And I think that's what they should have left it as 7 church. You can use 7. Church. The angel that's over those 7 churches is sending a message to us because that's spiritual. But when they start labeling those names, then you can kind of smell the Roman Catholic coming up in there. Because I can't see that these names were a physical location. And here go Hamashiach, Yeshua coming on the scene in the spiritual realm. He's natural, but he's spirit because he's with the Father, right? He comes in, and now here this physical, now the new sheriff in town, but now at the end, in the end days, the physical stands back up and said, look, here we are, we over here. We the church. Oh, no. Something wrong with that. You can't do that. It can't be done. That's when your antenna come up. And I said, wait a minute. And then when I sat here and I saw revelation of the saints of the Saint John divine. Then I said, wait a minute, why is it the beginning sentence said revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach? And then you see it in red. But see, somebody said there's 16:11. It's not even in red. You get what I'm saying? So whenever we're reading, we have to let the Ruach take us and put everything we read, y'all. This is so true. We have to learn to get everything we read as a study. We're studying it when we're reading it. But we have to make sure we know how to be humble and stay up under the Ruach HaKodesh teaching so he can teach us exactly what. Because as even just today, listen to different ministers teaching. And they said that many people are learning based on what someone has taught them and based on what they have been believing for so long. And no one really wants to understand nothing that they have been taught, nor have they been believing can be proven. That's what he said. And to me, nothing can be proven, really. That's why it ain't about trying to prove nothing to nobody. Prove it to yourself. That's what he was saying. Study to show thyself. And when he said we to study, he didn't say study to go tell everybody. Study yourself and wait. Terry, I'll be there. Hold up, I'll come. But let me see you study as if you really want to know. And that's what a lot of people don't. They want to be taught. They want to be told. They want to be shown. See, it's not what you can see that gets you to believe. It's what you can see and believe. That is for the flesh. The thing which is spirit and truth. You got to see it. Now you got to not see it, but yet believe it. Because it is spirit and it is truth. It don't have to be justified. It don't have to be clarified. And it don't have to be identified. And I think in these last days, we need to really see Yah for who he is. If y'all done told me since I was a little girl, and I ain't had no other choice. The things he was showing me down in that basement, honey, I used to see stuff move. I'm serious. And I'm like, the things that he showed me, I knew it wasn't natural, y'all, because I was the only one down there. I wasn't the only one down there. He was down there with me, but I'm just showing you. And I was at the age of 4. So I've learned long ago to trust in that which I do not see, but yet believe. I don't have to naturally hear him, but I have the ear. That one ear is the Ruach HaKodesh. And as I was reading, when you go to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 7, he that have an ear, you see that? He that has an ear, you see that? He that has an ear, that ear is spirit. Let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. So this thing ain't about physical. You see, that got to be dropped off. And we got to bring it into the spiritual realm, because even here in Revelation chapter 2 and verse 7, it says, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying. And who is that spirit, y'all? Anybody know? That spirit is Yah. That spirit is Yah. Yah is the Ruach HaKodesh. Going back to what I'm saying. This thing has to be taught by the Spirit, y'all. Spirit and truth. When you learn to not try to succeed beyond the spirit of Yah's teaching, you can go a long ways in life. You'll be the one ministering to the people as y'all travel to the promised land. I'm telling you, because when you travel that way and you spirit and truth is connected to the light. Okay, so therefore you got a light that can see in the midst of darkness. You're going to see who's who and what's what. And then you got spirit and truth. You're not going to get too many people coming up, buckling up on you when you have spirit and truth, because their spirit know your spirit. They know that you are spirit and truth. So they know. And this goes back to when I was a little girl. Even when I was in my 20s, I could go places and I could be talking to someone and people be looking at me like, and then they're stopping listening. You see, it's because You're not speaking everywhere Sister Deborah go. A lot of times I don't be speaking as flesh. Some of my conversation you can hear it like flesh, but he that has an ear, which people's spirit and even Satan's spirit can hear what Sister Deborah is saying. Satan's spirit can even hear what Sister Deborah is saying. So I believe that, like you were saying, sister, about we all fall under those 7 churches. But what they shouldn't have done is put those physical names with he that is spiritual. That's what they did. That's where the error is at. They put a physical name with he that is spirit. So tonight, when you go in to do your study, look up each one of those, and you're gonna see. I think it's the Philadelphia. I think that's the one that has that's even to today is a physical name. You get what I'm trying to say? It's a physical name, but even and it's called something else. But it used to be called that. But it's called something else. But there is a city, isn't it? Is it a state? Philadelphia. So what I'm saying, that's a physical name. We can't have physical name in a spiritual realm, because we're telling this name is spiritual. A person would go to that state because they think that state could be representing something in the Bible. I'm serious. I'm serious. So I believe, like this one person called these names as to what it means in its the names, as if it was a spiritual name behind it. But you still got to go back to where the name originated from. Okay, it was a physical name before it became before anything. And today, this is where I got lost. This is what I was saying. When I went into the study a long while ago, probably a year and a half ago, on the 7 churches, I did see where the churches were closer to the promised land. So I was just assuming that was us, the house of Israel. Now, it can't be the house of Israel because it is considered Gentiles. It's Gentiles. They are Gentiles. It goes back to what I have been hearing lately about how many of them got killed. A lot of them that was said they got set on fire, alive, children heads cut off. See, we don't look as people. We are a people who don't. We want to be shown. We want to hear somebody. We want somebody to tell us. We are not people who really read and do any study. We want to make, like our men, when they found out that they were the people, first thing they did, they went the wrong way. They went into this Hebrew Israelite movement. They went out on the streets cursing and talking about I'm going to have your wife and I'm going to do this and all this in the media. And what law is allowing them to do that? This law of this land, who don't give a rat's behind that they do that because they make themselves look bad. And that law also no. So those are your people. Those are the people of Yah. Because if you go back to Ezekiel and Isaiah and Jeremiah, they always said that. And even was prophesied that they're going to say, you all are the children of the Most High God. Now, I'm not saying that high. They know that. They knew. That's what they're saying now. We know he forsaken y'all. He left y'all. He left y'all with us. He forsaken y'all. Look what y'all doing. And you say you awakening and you doing what? Do you understand who he is? See, they have more understanding of who the Father, the Creator is. Even though they don't want to show it, they don't want to know it. But when I hear over and over, what is this about? And the Gentiles going to know. What is it they're going to know? They're going to know. And when they see this, when I do this for you, and the Gentiles going to know. I'm like, what? So to me, everybody know everything except for dumb house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. Everybody else know what's going on. You see, so I believe that we are a people who don't want to know truth and don't want to know it in its brightness, in a sense. I think we can take it, we can accept it as long as it stay below us. That means below our hearts to where what we want to understand. But I think it is bigger than we are. Always was, always will be. But I think dealing with the Most High Yah, I'm a serious you all. We have to learn to deal with him in the spirit realm, just as he said. He said we can't even worship him in this flesh. So that should tell you the flesh is physical. So I believe that, and I'm sure it's in the 1611. The seven churches were called out. The seven candlesticks, the seven thunders, the seven candles, the seven trumpet. None of them was called out. You see, even the seven churches was totally called out. Okay, if it was just the seven churches, then they that are going to be grafted in, okay, is grafted in through the spirit and not through names, that titles a location here on the earth, because that's physical. So what I'm understanding, I think that might have been where the error is at. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the Father. Anybody got any questions, or maybe even got the answer to? Because Sister Deborah don't have it all. Believe me. A spiritual church, yes. No, you're not late. Yes. Sure did. Oh, that's a good way of saying that. That is a good way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, you didn't say that. When they awoke, so did the past sin. And you know what else? Let me ask y'all what y'all think about this. The right spirit and truth. That's right. That was probably done to confuse. It had to have, because I'm a prophet in the wilderness. The reason why I stayed away, because I was just a crazy person. I went in that thing deep about a year ago trying to graft those names, where they at, and then I found them. I'm like, how is this detached to a physical location? Asia? Come on now. Yes, it could have been called something back then. But what I'm saying is, the spirit of Yah ain't coming in the middle of nowhere. It ain't going to share no glory. It's either going to be the head, it'll never become the tail. So, but that is always, I like the way you said that. When they awoke, so did the past sins. I got something to say about something I've been hearing lately. Okay. The fourth church, would you say you confused about the fourth church? I'm still learning. I think that's why I was saying when it just say seven churches, even calling it out the first, second, and all. I mean, and none of us was perfect. Okay. Let me show you. Let me kind of help you with something. Say for instance, there's a seven churches and they name this. Do you think for 1 minute when they read what the Most High Yah is saying, they're going to repent? Come on now. They're going to turn from their wicked ways. This was made hundreds of years, probably most like thousands of years. You think they're going to get up and... So what would be the purpose of letting them know as if they are someone and they are Gentiles? They came, I think they came in through Yeshua HaMashiach, through the Messiah. But I don't think the names is legit. Okay. It's Hellenized. I saw that in there. So you're saying that there were Israelites also. So if there were Israelites also and Hellenized, that's what it said. They were, Gentiles. They were called Hellenized Jews. But I need you to really listen to what's saying. Look at that word hell. I'm not talking about man-made definition of it. But that there, grafted in, was never said that they were Jews grafted in. The Gentiles were Jews grafted in. That's why I say it's a form of what was put in and what was taught. Because a lot of it, if you really look at it, even I saw that. That's why I was saying I saw Hellenized Jews, that they were called Hellenized Jews. Who would they call that by? The Roman Pope. Not the Pope, but the Roman Catholics. Okay? And you say that there was Israelites there as well, is what you're saying. And that was before Christ. Okay? I don't know if go look it up. That was before Christ. Okay? That city was before. Okay? What you say? You odd. You ought to quit. What you say? You know a bit. The fourth. You saying the fourth church. But you have to also come back into a form of spiritual. Okay? And that's pretty much what I'm saying. I don't think it can be justified, clarified, and identified through the flesh, through the natural understanding of it. That's why when you see verse Revelation chapter 2 and verse 7, he that has an ear, that means you got to take this, Deborah, and let him know I'm speaking spiritual. See, and you have to be able to come down to that level and see that this thing is spiritual. It is not a natural way we've been taught that this. Because when you look up Hellenized, I can bet you, and I ain't gonna bet you, I can guarantee you 100% that is Roman Catholics or Romans definition. Okay? So therefore, it's not legit. Anything that's not, okay, tell you what, let us continue to live. That's what a lot of people tell people to follow Torah. You see what I'm saying? Follow Torah. And all of this stuff is also of every kind of wickedness is in Torah as well. I think my thing is it's just to wait for the Ruach HaKodesh, because that is the true teacher. And even just listening at verse 7, chapter 2 of Revelation, in verse 7, he's willing you back into some place. Why? What he said. After he said everything he said to the church, to that particular church, he still turned around and said, he that has an ear, meaning, come on, we got to bring this thing to spiritual. It's still going to end up falling right back in the lap of what is spiritual. And when it's spiritual, it's nothing we can add, take away, or make it, even if we've been taught it. You see, this, I mean, I'm telling you, that's one of the powerfulest message that can go around, even out of Jews, the true Jews, even the Gentiles. I'm sitting, even listening to them. They're coming up with some very, very powerful messages. And this is the thing I asked the Father. How is it they know that and we still stuck on stupid as a people? That gets me every time. So this also lets me know why he keeps saying, and the heathens shall know. They're going to be always informed. We are stiff-necked. That means we like this here. Rebellion. That means don't follow rules, no order. And disobedient. We don't take heed to what is building, what is spirit and truth first of all and foremost. Because once we get into it in spirit and truth, we tend to understand when, okay, Father, you said, not you said. It has been said that your thoughts are not our thoughts. Your ways are not our ways. When how can we just kind of step into your thoughts? How can we kind of just step into your ways? We have to come what? Spiritual. He's speaking to the spirit ear. He that hears my voice know it. But what we did, what we do is we've been taught something and drilled for so long, we can't see it outside of what we can see and believe versus what you hearing the Ruach HaKodesh actually teaching. So I'm going to wait and I'm going to see what all he has to say. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to be humbled in it, what I'm saying, and just be low enough to where you can just quiet, Deborah, and hear what Yah is saying, because I know it's not something really to be bent up and down, but I think it's something that we all would want to know. We want to know what's actually taking place, Yeah. And before the Messiah, they were in. Oh yes, they were. The Israelites were, but don't they were different locations. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's what it just almost a place where it's almost like, you're right when you say it meant to keep us in dark, but it's almost to a place. Not listen to what you're saying. You're saying it meant to keep us in darkness, but listen to this. Do you think that? Let's just listen to this. Do you really think that it's us being kept in darkness, or is it us being being disobedient and stiff-necked and rebellion toward the Creator Himself? All that has to do with not giving in and understanding. Wait a minute, what Yah is saying, what He is trying to speak unto us. That stiff neck interferes, that disobedient, that rebellion, all of that plays a role, almost to the point where it's like we justify and clarify when it's we're being put into this situation. It's just like drugs coming into the. I don't know if y'all know, it's some mean drugs out there, and guess who's getting a hold of it? The Gentiles. That's who's getting a hold of it. But it was meant for, I think, us. Now don't get me wrong. Our people are dipping and tipping in it too. Don't get me wrong. But I think it backfired a little bit. Not a little bit, a whole lot. And I think of if one would just sit down one day and just, if you off, and just get a pen and piece of paper and just listen to different cases that's happening in just that one day, just that day that you off, everything that's happening, jot it down. When you go back to it, somewhere it's going to show you something is going on with a certain nation of people who seems to not recognize and get what is going on among their own nation. And that is us. We don't see nothing that our people are doing. We don't see nothing that's going on. It's like we turn totally a blind eye. Nobody, that's why you don't hear nobody talking about it. You don't hear nobody speaking about it. You don't hear, but we always justify it, trying to clarify that, okay, it's like this because this. Why isn't it just simply we have been an ugly people toward our Father? Bam! And that's it. That's just it. That's the truth be told. We have been an ugly people to Him, and we still today cannot see it. We can't see it. We can't see how we have disrespected Him, dishonored Him, profaned His name. I mean, just don't give Him glory, don't give Him honor, don't give Him anything. And we feel we just been that ugly people, and always probably always will be. And stiff neck, yeah, you sure right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. You know what I need to do? Even with me, I did, okay, y'all. This is what I'm asking the Father for. I'm asking Him to teach me how to forgive. Teach me how to forgive, because I know he is forgiven 100%. You see? And I need him to teach me how to forgive. I don't know if I can forget, but only one can help me in that is him. Because I sit back and I see things being done to me. And guess what? I'm like saying, now, wait a minute. And then it's like, I look up past it all the time. And that's okay. I don't say it, verbally or it's just my action. It's like, so what? And if I said and told you all the things, you would say, well, why would you let that by? Why would you forgive that? That's what, because somewhere, that was yesterday morning, I was like, how do you shake this? How do you let this go? Because every time, guess what? Every time I let it go, guess what happened, you guys? It come back. It be done again. It's like, you be like, oh, but I forgive and I let go. But it's like ever present, And I'm like saying, well, Father, how do you get rid of this? Do anybody have any? I mean, really, how do we get rid of just forgiving someone? And no, I forgive because of my actions. But it's just, let me go. I believe and this is probably me trying to justify and clarify. Why does it keep coming back? Why the same ones continue to do the same things? And it's like, and then I think of 7 times 7. I said, wait a minute now, Father, come on now. I know you can forgive me 1,000,000 times, but come on, Father. And I go say it, but don't forget, Father, I'm flesh too. I'm flesh too. I always throw that down. I always put that before the Father. But don't forget, Father, I'm flesh too. But yeah, and I'm just like, and I remember really, really crying when I was 58. And I was just crying and crying. I said, but why would you put me in a lifestyle where not one of my hands, but both hands is always out to help, give. But no one does it to me. And I was just crying. That's when he told me that because I am giving, gave, you are giving, gave. And I was like, I still didn't understand, y'all. That's how he came up with this word LOVE. He said, flip that backwards. And that's evoke. And then he told me that he was, and always been. And he took me right back to the beginning, Genesis chapter 1. When I said let, I was giving them something. And I gave it to him too. He said, when that new Jerusalem come down, I'm giving them a new heaven. Everything is about. And that's when he said that, me being spirit and flesh, I was like, I like the idea that it is giving, gave, because that's what I say my life is. My life has always been like that. And when he told me that's who he was, I was like, oh, I like that. But the feeling, it didn't erase the feeling. And I have tried to stop. And it just don't seem to work. And even when someone is doing something, you be wondering, because someone said to me, why is it that, no, this is what they say. They say, if I gave a person something, what did he say? I gave a person something. They asked me, can I borrow something? He said, what was it he said? And that person never returned it and broke it. Then that person come back again a month later. This is how they was trying to make me look bad. Watch this here. Somebody come back a month later and they asked for something else. And this individual said, if I give it to him a second time, and when I asked him for it, he said he don't know where it's at. It's broke. Or I don't know where it's at. And then he's finally said he broke it. And he said, if that person waits 6 months and come back, I will be a fool to give it to him again. He said, and give it to him again after I knew that I gave him the benefit of the doubt the first time, the second time. But what would I look like giving it to him a third time, trying to make me look bad? But in the same sense, trying to tell me this is the lesson you got to learn. You don't just keep doing it in spite of what individual keep doing to you. You learn from it. But it's just, I told him, I said, yeah, that's easy for you to say because you use a different spirit than I am. And you got to, but somewhere along the line, Sister Deborah got to learn somewhere. I got to learn. But that's what I want him to. And I asked him yesterday morning, and I asked him, I say, and it was bothering me early yesterday morning because I was like, well, how do I know I can't do it. I can't do it, but you can. I wanted him to help me to let go. Because I can write a book, and I mean, it would be the bestseller. I'm telling you. And I just need to I got to, and especially when it comes down to my kids, y'all, we as women have to know how to let go. We got to let it go because it ain't that much what the world called love on this earth to always constantly be there for those children, and you can't find them to be there for you that's a different. You would think this is what you think. You would think they would look back over their life and they'll say, well, mama have always been there 100 times 100. I'm going to make sure that no matter what, I'm there. My mother can dial my phone. The first thing I said, is there anything I can do? Is there anything you want? Is there anything I can get you? That's showing you. No, it ain't showing you, but it have shown me throughout times how you can. It's your bloodline. It's who you are. That's my daddy's bloodline. That caused me to feel that way about my mother. You see what I'm saying? But my children, their daddy bloodline don't feel that way. So therefore, they don't feel that way. And a lot of people don't know that that's what he called generational curses. And that's why they keep going 3 to 4 generations, because it's no victory in it all, because nobody want to see it for what it is. They just figured out whatever. A lot of people don't know. But I think that the danger part is when you come to the knowledge. I have said, like, if somebody come up to you and say, they say, you did this and you did this, and I didn't appreciate you doing this. It is not for you to say, oh, I did not do that. I don't believe I did that. No, you go another route. And you say, well, I didn't know I hurt you like that. Even if you know you didn't. That ain't what you say. Oh, I didn't know if I hurt you like that. And you know what? You telling me like that? Oh, if I hurt you, not if. Me hurting you like that is not right. Keep if and but out of it. You see? That's what you call true repentance. You see? It's a way you bring it forward. Never walk away from someone that's saying that you're doing something, or you're saying something, or you're hurting them. Address it as if, okay, you said it, I believe it, and I want to let you know I'm sorry. I didn't know I was hurting you like that. That's it. That's what you call true repentance for something, because this person has this issue with you. It's not you that has the issue. They have the issue. Set their tails free. Set them free. That's what you need to do. Set them free. And if they keep holding on to it, they come back and say, yeah, and I remember you would be dead. I told you, I didn't know I hurt you, baby. Or I didn't know I hurt you. If I said that to you, man, I'm sorry. Not if. If you said I did it, I did it. Just I didn't know I hurt you that way, or I didn't know I did this, or I didn't know I broke this, or I didn't know I just cut that thing out. You can get victory just not trying to cater. I didn't do that. You said I did. I don't believe that. Gone. Just gone. Because the truth rests where? In the one that knows the truth of the whole matter. You see? It's not about battling situations. husband battling wife and wife battling husband. Women, let me tell you, it is said that the children are going to be your oppressors. Now, just imagine if we are in captivity and they are our oppressors, we got a double whammy, and we have not even recognized that we should be stressed out. We should be bent. You see? But when you think of the one that says, greater is he that is in thee than he that's in the world. Wait. Hey, greater, come on, help me out here. Come on. You call on that one that's greater. And you watch it come up out of you. I'm telling you, it happened yesterday, 2 days ago. Was it 2 or 3 days ago? Someone spoke something to me, and it bothered me that they said it, because I said, Father, I don't care what. They just can't see it. And I was walking to the store, and he said, wait a minute, hold up. Just hold up. He said, this individual ain't going to see it till it happened to them. I said, oh, no, hold up, Father, y'all. Hold up. Hold up, Father, y'all. He said, no, it ain't going to see it unless it happened to them. And I said, but please spare the life. That's what I told him. Please spare his life. And he did it so, y'all came in and did it so smooth. He was like, bam, bam, bam. How you like me now? What do you got to say now? I was like, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. I said, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. Thank you for sparing this life, Father, y'all. Thank you for sparing this life, Father, y'all. I'm telling you, and it just, and I think so also, I think that another problem, I don't know if it's a problem, and it might not be a problem. Sometimes I'll be thinking about how praying for my children. And like I said to you all, if I gave you all my children, you'll say, when Sister Deborah, something wrong with her. If my kids stayed with you for a year or two, you said something wrong with Sister Deborah. That's what you're saying, because that's how people see them. But I want them to, I guess maybe because I really prefer them to have some strong connection to the Most High Yah, like I do. I think that could be probably pretty much one of the issues. And I want them to, but this is what is happening. Is when you stand back and you wait and you starting to see them saying things, and I told, hey, I prayed and I asked, please forgive me. And I heard them say that. I said, oh, sure, got mommy in you, huh? Got your mommy. I don't tell them that, but that's what I say. I'll never say, what? No, you didn't. No, I don't say that. I just hear them, and I embrace I'd be happy just to hear them say stuff like that. They're not, I don't know. I don't know. So I think I'm just created to go through and to see things. That's why it's important to understand your steps. When you walking with Yah, those are steps that he has ordered for you. You see what I'm saying? He has ordered those steps for you in him. For who? His name's sake. For what? His purpose. For what? His will. So a lot of times you look back at it like that too. When you see it that way, you also have to be able to embrace the fact that it's things that you just got to just embrace and trust him with. Keep your garment clean. That sounds so beautiful. Yes. That sounds so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Thank you. We needed that. Keep your garment clean. Wash in the blood of the Lamb. Praise the mighty Yah. It's over. Yeah, that is so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, you said it too. The sister said it too. powerful. That sounds real. That's what I'm talking about. I looked up and read it. I'm like, wait a minute now. Woo-wee. That's what we need. That's the sort of conversation we need, honestly. Thank you, sister, for hitting that, because that you show right. I was listening to that. Oh, several of y'all hit it before I did. See, I just looked up and saw it, and I was like, well, it's like, why did I catch that? And I was like, wait a minute, everybody didn't beat me to it. Thank you all. And you know what else? I wanted to say this here a couple of days ago, and I'm going to go and step into it and say it. One thing that I like about you all in that live chat, one thing that I love, even the message when y'all saying, don't think Sister Deborah ain't seen it. I love how y'all give the praise to y'all. I love it. I love how you, and would you believe this sister be looking for it, be saying, ooh, you praising y'all, and I'm like getting happy. I do. And you all always praising y'all. You always saying something about the Almighty. Then you're always praising him. And I think that is so beautiful, because go onto these pages and hear these people glorifying each other and giving each other the praise and giving the individual who's talking all the glory. And then you'll see nobody saying anything about y'all. We praise you. We glorify you. Oh, the Most High Yah, we praise you. Hallelujah. You don't see that. I'm serious. Because a lot of times they think they get in it and they think it's about giving each other the praise. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with telling each other, you know, a good message, powerful or whatever. But the way I see these people be giving these speakers all that, but I learned 2 days ago. I didn't learn this. I sat back and I said 2 days ago, that's one thing about the live chat. They sure know how to give y'all the praise. I love it. Yep. All these people losing their children and their, oh, Father, I got 6, y'all. I can't imagine. But you know what? Y'all would hold me up. Y'all would hold me up. His grace and that mercy. And I was saying something, I think yesterday, about that grace and that mercy. It wasn't the day before yesterday. And as I was saying it, you all, would you believe I learned something about grace and mercy? That's why people can't see things, a lot of things. It's because grace and mercy covered it up. I said it to you all, and I learned something the moment I said it. I was like, they don't know. I just learned something. You see what I'm saying? Believe it or not, I think when you're teaching and you're speaking, you have to be able to learn from what you're saying yourself and not think you got something to tell somebody and you ain't learning nothing from it. You just talking. And when I said that, I was like, oh wow, yeah, that's. Do y'all know what do you think would happen if it wasn't no grace and mercy down here? Just think of that. If y'all didn't have and not up there pouring all that grace and mercy on us, what do you think will happen? Would you say bootlick and that's what they do? I mean, it's sad. That's right. He sure did. He measured it out. He portioned everything out. Yep. But you all always do that. Even in the comment, you always lean into him in the beginning. It's amazing how, and I said, that is wonderful, Father. And then once I read, I said, giving you all praise and glory and honor. That's right. You are so right. What owed to him. That's right. And you know what else, y'all? This is something else. When I heard Satan tell the father about the hedge he had around Job and his family, I was like, oh, you like that, huh? You would put a hedge around the family too? I like that. And it just, and I mean, I felt so good to know that. It did something to me to know that. It really did. And then he said, "But Deborah, if you stay in tune with everybody that I have used, I always took care of their family. Always did. I didn't take care of the one that I know wasn't on my side, but I made sure their family, even though Job's, they weren't on his side, he got rid of them, didn't he? He let Satan get rid of them, didn't he? But he turned around and gave Job exactly what he took away. Isn't that something? Just imagine his wife was ready after he was going through all that sickness and flesh falling from his bones. When he got well, they did it up, got right back in it and put forth children. But Job, even though Job's children, Job should have never said, I ain't gonna say he didn't say that, but it says Job said, my children may have sinned. No. Your children, you know what they doing up in that house, them houses, partying every 7 days. Y'all knew what they were doing. He took their tails out. He didn't take one out. He didn't take two. He didn't put them in the hospital. He let Satan take them out. You see? Why? Because y'all knew who they were. He knew they wasn't representing him, even though Job was. But look how y'all took care of them all that time. They had everything. They didn't even have to work. Y'all didn't even notice that, did you? 7 days, 7 sons, 7 days, 7 sons. Every day they drank and feast and invited what? The three daughters over. Who else was there? Nobody. Y'all didn't know what was going on. Y'all knew. He knew what he was doing. See, a lot of people couldn't put them pieces together. 7 sons, 7 days. Feasting and drinking. Partying 7 days. Inviting 3 sisters over. They was doing it up. Yes, they were. All you have to do is put the pieces together. 7 and 3. Every son had his day to feast, to host the feast and the drinking, and everybody else come over. But they invited the 3 sisters every time. Things were going on, you guys. You mean you wasn't working? What are y'all doing? Feasting and partying and drinking 7 days? Come on now. Even on a Sabbath? See, y'all, a lot of people don't even see all that. They don't count up. 7 days. He had 7 sons. Each son had his day to host. And they partied 7 days. Where was your Sabbath? And Job was big time. Job was a man out of Yah's own heart. He was upright. But yet you got 7 sons that are carried every day. And they were partying every day, feasting, and invited the 3 daughters with to also. So we know things were going on, y'all. But look, wait a minute. But look what Job was doing. They got away with it for a long time. Why you say that, Deborah? You shouldn't say that, because Satan told on it. He said, you think I don't know, or you got that hedge around Job? You got that around Job and his family, his children. That's what Satan told him. So why would y'all have that hedge around Job? He had to have. That's why they didn't want to work. They were partying every day and drinking and feasting and doing other things they had no business doing. Why? Because Job was one of the richest. He was the upright man. So they don't feel they have to do anything. And they didn't. And that's what he was saying. But Satan told out. He told the story. He said, you think I don't know why you got that? What did he say? Let me see what he said here. He said it in a way that, to send the message to you that he was understanding what Job had around him. Let me see how Job said, see how Satan said that. But Satan ain't no dumb thing now. He's dumb all the time, but he wasn't all the way gone. Listen to this in Job chapter 1, in the beginning of it. Satan answered Yah and said, "Do it, Job, fear Yah for nothing? For not, meaning for nothing?" See, Satan sit here telling the Yah, you think I don't know Job fear you? See what that fear is, y'all? Job fear Yah. That fear is a brand. Then it says Job was upright. You see how y'all bragging about him? Because he was his. That's why y'all know he can turn him over to Satan. Satan couldn't do nothing with him. Because he man's. Stupid Satan. So he just never knew that. He still don't know it. Okay? So he said in Job chapter 1, verse 9, then Satan answered Yah and said, "Do it, Job, fear Yah for nothing?" See, he knew that there's a reason. Watch this here. Here goes Satan. Has not thy where's my other glasses? These here. It says in Job chapter 1, verse 10, it says, "Has not thou made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side?" About his house mean his household, his family, his wife too. He's sitting here telling Yah, has not thou made an hedge about him? See, Yah made a hedge about Job and about his family and about all that he has on every side. Has thou blessed the work of his hands and has sustained substance is increased in his land. He knew that was Yah. All around Job, in his household was everything. Yah had it all together. A hedge is very important because I didn't know that is what was around me. Remember, I was telling y'all everywhere all my life I couldn't understand. Nobody bothered me. I never knew why. I never got going to a job and somebody giving me a hard time, writing me up and all that type of stuff, firing me and all that. I never was into that. That wasn't who it wasn't. It just wasn't what. And I used to always wonder why every job I go to, everybody always said, when they don't do it to you, it's always, even the men, oh, Miss Deborah, they don't do you like that. I mean, just everybody notice it. But stupid me turned 58, and the father told me then. I went to him and I was crying, and one of them having one of them moves, and I was asking him, what is it? Why is it that I am set aside? Why is it people have been discriminated, treated unfair? But what happened? I don't know what's going on with me. Something wrong with me. He said, Deborah, I always had a hedge around you. Nobody knew what it was. They called it what they want to call it, but they never. I said, Father, yeah, I knew it was something. And it made a lot of sense afterwards, after knowing it. But I was 58 years old when he told me that. That's right. That's right. In the glory. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, he was working. You know what else Job did? He was trying to cover their sin, y'all. Every early morning before the sun come up, he would take 10 of his animals and sacrifice them for his 10 children. forgiveness for the sins of his children by sacrificing. See, that was trying to, he knew his children was doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing. Just imagine how long he did that. He had to have had a lot then, huh? To get up early in the morning and sacrifice 10 animals every day because of the sins of your 10 children. Woo, that's deep. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot to me. And I said, I know I shouldn't have been so stupid, but I know when I first taught that lesson to my community where I was staying, it was my kids also. They was there. I was having Bible class at my house. I said, y'all, can y'all count that up in 1 week? What he killed? Wouldn't he get tired of the smoke and the burning? But he was so geared to having y'all to forgive them. You see, I wonder, did he ever think, instead of you sitting here burning this up, you sitting here having, you one of the main righteous one. Why ain't you telling them? You see how you don't really have the power over your kids when they reach a certain age, even when some of them are young. See, why couldn't Job let his ministry go to them? Why wasn't he ministering to them? You know, and telling them what God said the Most High Yah, instead of being out there burning up stuff. He was past that. He couldn't tell them nothing. That's why. He couldn't tell them nothing. That's right. Satan can't do no more than what Yah let him do. And he go to ask Yah, is it okay? Listen to this, what he said in Job. In Job, he said, in Job chapter 1 and verse 11, he said to the Father, put forth thy hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. You hear what he said? Now, you see what Satan did? Now, this is where I was explaining to you all about how it's real sad. It's a sad thing that Satan knows the Father's right hand and we don't know a thing about it. We don't know a thing about it. But Satan knew. What do you mean, Deborah? Look at verse 11. Job chapter 1 and verse 11. But put forth thy hand. Now, he ain't asking for hands. He said hand. Now, let me see you do that. Let me see you do that. I bet you he'll get you. Put forth that hand. Because that hand represents something. That hand represents the one that had the power to do any and everything. That was Alpha and Omega. That was he that's in the beginning to the end. That was all his power is in his hand. And that's all Satan was saying. I know you got that right hand. I ain't crazy. First he told him, I ain't going to touch Job. You got a hedge around him. But he said, I tell you what, put that right hand on him. Hedge or not, I know I can get him. Why? Because once y'all touch something, hallelujah, with that power, it's on. And Satan knows it and knew it. And here we are living in the year of 2023. Have no respect for that right hand of God. That's something to fear. That is something to fear. Look at Satan. He's scared of it. We running around here not even. They go to back. Right. That's what I'm saying. He killing them animals 7 and 10 every morning. Poor thing. And what? They go right back the next day. So I was telling the people when I was teaching that, I said, you know how long he did that? He did that a long time, y'all. He did that for a long time. Because he thinking he was going to pay off their sins. That's the only way he knew. And I was like, but why don't he go there and go off on them or say something? He probably already did. They didn't listen. Because if they had got into it, they got so deep into it. He should the smoke alone. And just imagine every morning, y'all, getting up to go down there to sacrifice them things because they sin, knowing you'll be back the next morning. I mean, why would you even? I don't know. It just seemed like, I don't know. It just seemed so. I don't know. I don't think I would have. I don't know. I ain't gonna say what I would have done. Let me shut up. Let me leave Job alone. That's right. He sure did. He knows. Yeah, his butt knows about it. Satan ain't no good, and he know he ain't. Yes, he had to have a lot of. That's what it's telling you. That exactly. Look here. That is exactly what Satan is charging him on. He says in verse 10, has not thou made an hedge around him and about his family and about all that he have on every side, that has blessed the work of his hands? He said, and hands and his substance and increased in his land. He needed that increase. Yeah, he's gonna have to burn that stuff up for the sins of his kids. Oh, yes, he had a lot. He was, I think it wasn't he the wealthiest where he was at? Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he was. But yeah, he called that out. And it's no way I would have been saying, I think they may have sinned. I would say, Father, I'm tired of sacrificing for their sin. But now Job wanted his family. He didn't want nothing to happen to him. But then I heard Job say, but hold up, y'all. Ye though thou slay me, yet I shall trust in thee. Y'all, Job know that all the things that was coming up on him wasn't in the hands of Satan. It was in the hands of Yah. He said, yea, though thou slay me, ye though thou slay me, yet I shall trust in thee. And then when it got to a little heavy, he never denied him. When it got a little heavy, he said, here he go. Y'all began, he started to say some little stupid things. And y'all said, wait a minute, hold up, bro. Where were you when I hung them stars? You only know what I let you know. But where was you when I hung them stars? When I did this and I did that? See, then Job had to back down. See, he had to come down. He got to stand down. You see, one thing I'm gonna tell y'all that I've learned with my walk with the Most High Yah, he has an awesome humor. Yes, he does, and he will listen to you in your way of emotions and how you feel, and he won't even take it serious. He will listen to you in your madness, in your stupidity, in the way you put things to him. And if you in your anger, he still will listen to you and then say something to you real quiet. When Deborah, I'm like, you can't help but straighten up. I'm telling you, I'm talking about my experience. He'll listen to you. He'll listen to you talk stupid. He'll listen to you act stupid. He'll listen to you be stupid and be still sitting there saying, why do you think he said, and yet I always had a stretched out hand to Israel in the tribe of Judah. Always had an outreach hand. Stiff neck? So what? I already had a hand for you. Rebellion? All right. I still had a hand out there for you. Disobedient? All right. I still got that right hand out there for you. And they never reached for it. Never reached for it. I don't know what these people are doing to this dog. Hold up, you guys. Okay, you all, it's getting late, and I know a lot of you all are that's going to have to but I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. Hopefully we can, I'm going to also keep seeking the Most High Yah for what he wants me to know, and anytime he come up and give me something, I'll bring it forth. But I thank the Most High for each and every last one of you all joining. in, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. And you all have a wonderful night. You know what? Learn to also get a good night's sleep. Learn, um, get that for yourself. You know, it's real hard. It's real hard for a lot of people to get a good night's sleep. It really is. But that's something you're going to have to want for yourself. And it's something you need now, because you can get it now. You might not get it later. So get it while you can. Don't forsake it and say, well, okay, I get it when, you know, when I move from over here, or when I do this, or when I have this. And no. Get you that peace at night. Not tossing and turning and can't sleep. And medication is the last thing you need to sleep. Satan will make you think that's all you need. That's the only way he's going to let you sleep, is if you can put your mind down with medication. Try not to do that. Work, even if it takes you to have to work out or wear yourself out, and then lay down. But try to get you some sleep. Try work. I'm telling y'all, sleep now. Tomorrow you might not be able to. So make sure you learn to sleep now, because night is ahead. Oh yes. So make sure you get you some, and try to help your body or teach your body how to get you some sleep. You need at least 6 to 8 hours. Okay, at least put that in, from 6 to 8 hours. You know, letting 6 be the minimum, but make sure you get in between 6 to 8 hours of sleep or rest, or really pretty much sleep, because you have to be able to close those eyes and not let that mind continue to wander. Because what happened is, Satan loved to come in the midnight hour. That's his greatest time. Can Sister Deborah explain it to you? I cannot. He wore my tail out as a little girl. He wore my tail out. So I'm a living witness. Get you some rest. Get you some sleep. He comes and he want to make you think that life is just so out of order. See, and a lot of times when I be talking to you all, you know what? I am actually, what I'm saying is not to make things look like it's real bad and it's worse. It is to prepare you to control that which cannot put you in fear. Because it's truth sets you free. Y'all don't want us to be in captivity to the fear of what man can do to us, as if he ain't fear that we supposed to be fearing. Instead, the things that's going on in this world, these things are going on. And yes, they're going to be at our door. But a lot of times, people be thinking you saying stuff, and it's always sad and scary. No, it ain't, baby. Because after a while, ain't nobody going to be able to say nothing to you that's going to scare you. You going to been there, done that. Next. So don't, because Satan, he will come at nighttime. He'll bring all your cares, all your worries. What you going to do about this and what you going to do about that. But once you get so used to, wait a minute, it's nothing I can do. But greater is he that is in me, that he that is in the world can do all things. Stand your clown tails down. He gonna have to flee. He don't rule nothing. He don't own nothing. He don't control nothing. Look, Job will tell you, not Job, but you can see him cut up from the floor. But one thing I can tell y'all about the book of Job, and Satan coming around talking to y'all, I can tell you this. Satan got sense enough to respect my father. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I don't know, and I don't care. If they had dogs, Satan can respect y'all. Don't you think they should have a little bit of sense to know? You would think, but they don't. A lot of that is flesh, y'all. Because look what I just told you. Why is Satan talking to y'all like that? I tell you furthermore, why is Satan coming around in the midst of the Father and in the midst of the sons of Yah. Oh, I'm just going to and fro, seeing whom I may devour. You know what he's saying? You got somebody I can kind of take advantage of. That's what he's saying. But wait a minute, hold up. Don't you do what you do best? Don't you deceive the world? What you coming over here in my Kool-Aid for? That's what the Father should have said. He said, no, I ain't got nobody. Well, okay, I tell you what. Have you tried one of my servants? Don't you think it'll be worth it? He said, Satan said, you ain't finna get me there. I ain't going there. I ain't finna mess with him. You think I don't see what you got around him? See? Now, why is it Satan know that and we ain't got the system enough to know that Satan got us in this situation? It's not Satan, but y'all have us in the situation we're in today is because we can't get enough. We ain't learned how to let Satan stay in his yard. We want to go play in his yard all the time. So y'all got us over in this yard here, the yard of a curse. And you know what? I don't know why, but somewhere along the line, I'm wondering what is going to happen, because I have learned a lot of things in the last 3 days. Just sitting back, listening, putting pieces together, and I'm like, wait a minute. Those people were set on fire because they believe? Who are those people? That's what I was saying. Those were people that was called Christians. Those were people who were called Christians. They couldn't be called nothing else. Why? Because Yeshua came to his own, and that was the house of Israel and tribe of Judah. So they have to be called something. I never thought of it like that. So when I hear these people talking about how the Romans, back in the days when they started way back, they were killing them people, setting them on fire, y'all, alive. They were doing that to the Christians. Everybody pretty much knew who we were. They were doing that to the Christians. Who were the Christians? Those were people who believed in the Messiah. And I'm like, wait a minute. So that's those who you were saying that was grafted in. Yes, those were mine, grafted in before the foundation of the world. That's why I said they didn't come in through righteous, because ain't nothing righteous about it. They didn't come in through fear. I didn't let them know me like that. They came in through belief and faith that was already in them before the foundation of the world. They just came back to me, and I just grafted them in. You see what I'm saying? So I turned it off and listened to another, not to the same one. As I said, so those are those Gentiles. Because what was bothering me, how is it that the church is getting prosecuted in this day and time? It can't be talking about us. We curse. We are a whole different sectum, I think they call it. Totally different. Israel and Judah. Well, who is that? Why are they prosecuting the Christians? Because Satan used the Christian as his shield so they can hide under them, because they consider Christians too, but they hide behind them to use their power. And the Christians that don't know that Satan using them, they are not of Yah, but there are those who have accepted the Messiah. Those are the ones that's grafted in. And then when you begin to really listen to Yah, and you be like, wait a minute, hold on, who is the other nations up in here? Where they going? He said, Deborah, what are you talking about? Wait a minute, hold on, Father Yah. You talking to different people. Yes. But if you let the Hebrew Israelites be so-called awakening, they'll tell you the only one y'all gonna accept is them and their wickedness, stiff-neck, rebellion, and disobedience. You know what else they never came to the conclusion to? This is something they'll never preach. Why wasn't Abraham, Isaac, David, Jeremiah, Moses? Why wouldn't they call stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience? Because they were different fathers. See, that's a lot of people don't know nothing about that one. They don't know nothing about that. They weren't the same father. He said, because of our forefathers, he ain't talking about them. They father of the seed. We the father of the fools and the sinful, the abomination and the stiff-necked rebellion, disobedient, the whoremonger and everything else. See, they weren't never called that. These men never go into that and teach that. But Sister Deborah gonna let you all go. I'm not gonna hold you no more. But I say I appreciate each and every last one of you all, and we will be back. So I know you all gonna have a good night, because I'm going to even say a prayer that the Father give you all peace, that you can lie down and sleep and get some sleep. Okay. And I say I will see you again. So let's say shalom and shalom.